Hello, my name is Andy Nicholson and I'm part of the events team for the Upton Viking Festival. Within this presentation, I want to tell you why we're planning a big event for the summer, why it's Viking themed, and give you some insight into our plans for the festival's first year. First, why a big summer event for Upton? Now we know that Upton is a fabulous place to live. Unfortunately for everyone outside our boundaries, Upton is a place to pass through. We want to change that. We want Upton to be not just a pin on the map of Wirral, but a destination to live, work and shop. As a community, we already know this. I believe it's time we relinquish our secret. A community event will provide a platform of collaboration between the people, traders and groups within Upton. With our rich history, this event should capture the imagination of the community and promote pride and purpose. First and foremost, this is an event for the community. We want to involve as many facets of Upton as possible, from Victory Hall to Warwick Park and everything in between. We want to support local businesses and through the event highlight opportunities of investment into the village and its surrounding areas. But why make the event Viking themed? Well, Wirral has a great Viking history. They arrived across North Wirral in 902 AD and formed what was thought to have been a Viking mini-state with its own borders and language. Perhaps more importantly is the little known fact that, due to the collaboration of forces during the Battle of Brunanburh, Wirral is the birthplace of England as we know it today. So there's a rich heritage to celebrate, and we want to recreate this Viking period from nearly 1,120 years ago. To complete this, I'd like to introduce you to the Wirral Ship Fellowship. They are the leading Viking re-enactment group in the northwest and will form the centrepiece of the festival through an authentic Viking encampment within Warwick Park. The group prides themselves on the quality of their research and will use authentic reproduction tents and equipment for the duration of their stay. As a volunteer-run group, their aim is to engage people with the archaeology of the Norse Gaels. They will actively encourage their audience to ask questions, try crafts, and learn how life was during Viking times in the Wirral. The group enjoy 2 decades of experience and have a wide range of expertise and equipment. Their aim is to bring history to life and make it as entertaining and accessible to all age groups and abilities. They produce authentic Viking reenactments and demonstrations. So, what should visitors expect to experience during the encampment? Well, front and centre we'll have something to delight everyone: battle reenactments. Using authentic weapons, the Vikings will bring the battlefield of early Wirral to life. Fierce and ferocious, the audience will be captivated with each swing and blow. It's a real highlight of the encampment that will have the crowds flocking to see. The Vikings weren't all about battles and wars though, however, and they had a love of culture, including fabrics and crafts. These will be on display too, as will Viking culinary, which, if you're like me, will be my favourite bit. Through their experience in putting on such events, their dedication to accuracy and level of professionalism, we believe that the Wirral Ship Fellowship will provide the perfect centrepiece for the Upton Viking Festival. Such an event would bring local history vividly to life and will capture the imagination of the public while simultaneously bringing to their attention Warwick Park itself. Now that's not to say that the Vikings would remain within the park for the duration of the encampment. Indeed, on the final day of the festival, we'd like to create a Viking Invasion. Simply put, at a given time during the event, the Vikings would leave the encampment and march into Upton. Once there, they'd battle and capture a flag or shield from awaiting defenders, which could be the traders, and perform a celebratory warrior demonstration. This would be great fun for the visiting public, with children and families dressed as Vikings marching behind them to victory. The festival will span over a number of days, culminating with the Viking encampment, which takes place over the weekend. And the invasion will be on the final day. However, pre-encampment there should be culture, competitions and other fringe events too. In the run-up to the Viking encampment, we'll have a series of cultural events. These will include presentations on the origins of the Vikings on the Wirral, legends and mythology, plus further demonstrations and reenactments, including a display of replica artefacts such as weapons, armour, textiles and crafts. The first guest speaker will be local historian, author and Viking expert Dave Kapaner. Now Dave is a member of the Wirral Ship Fellowship Viking Group and has over 20 years of research experience into the history of the Vikings on the Wirral. During his presentation, he'll talk about the Viking warriors. Our principal speaker for the culture events is renowned author and academic Professor Stephen Harding. Professor Harding is the Professor of Applied Biochemistry at the University of Nottingham, and his principal research involved Scandinavian gene ancestry. For his scientific and historical investigation of the Vikings in Wirral, where he hails from, Professor Harding was, in 2011, made a Knight of the First Class Royal Norwegian Order of Merit. We are very proud to have him speak during our festival. Now, in addition to the culture events, we want to capture the imagination of the community and engage them from the very beginning. Therefore, we're proposing a Viking Scarecrow competition. Much like the old Thornton Hough Scarecrow Festival, which used to draw thousands of visitors. Such an event would encourage local people's involvement, but open Upton to a wider audience during the festival too. We believe that such a competition would distill greater ownership of the event within the community. One of the key principles of this event was to garner greater civic pride, and we believe this competition would provide exactly this through healthy competition between streets, roads, cul-de-sacs and households. Now, there may be a small entry fee, but as an incentive there would be prizes and a trophy for best road, street as well as individual household display. This would encourage neighbours to collaborate and work together for the betterment of their immediate area in Upton. In addition, the winning display would have their picture published in Upton News. But what if you don't have the time or resources to create such a display? Well, we thought of that too, and at the same time we're running the Scarecrow competition, we'll have a Viking Shield competition as a second tier. This would be a better competition to enter for individuals or families with limited time, as it would be quick, easy and fun to complete. The idea is that you'd purchase a basic, ready to decorate festival shield from a local trader and decorate as simply or as elaborately as you wish. Display it as a prominent place on your home to ensure judging by the Viking Jarl on the final day of the festival. Also on the final day of a festival, we'd have a Best Beard competition. This would be an inclusive competition for men, women, children and even pets. Beards can be naturally grown, homemade, decorated or something entirely different. With these 3 different tiers of competition, we believe we provided great coverage for families and individuals to be involved in the festival at any level of time or monetary investment, from casual event goer to the person who really gets ingrained in the fabric and culture of these events. There'll be something within this event for you. So with the culture events and the competition, what else could be done round the festival edges? Well, we're not short of ideas. We'd encourage the local eateries to put on Viking themed specials in their restaurants. Local groups including the Scouts and Guides could have a fancy dress competition and get involved in some of the educational events too. A Viking themed farmers market and craft fair would be popular, while the Viking Beer Festival would be the pinnacle of the event for many a person, myself included. Speaking of which, the beer festival would need to be hosted by a prominent venue. If successful, we'd like to involve the local breweries and pubs to further enhance the event. At the festival, people will be able to enjoy great food and entertainment. While Viking Garb won't strictly be necessary, we'd certainly encourage patrons to make the effort. The Viking event will run over 4 days. Day 1 on Thursday the 15th sees us start the main competitions with the Scarecrow and Shield, and also the first cultural event at Upton Victory Hall. Day 2 on Friday the 16th sees us continue the competitions, with the second cultural event being with Professor Harding and his lecture at Upton Victory Hall again. Then we move into the weekend with the encampment starting and hopefully the beer festival too opening an early evening on the Saturday. Then on the final day, the Sunday, we have the culmination of the Viking encampment with the invasion during the afternoon. We hope you've enjoyed this quick introduction to the Upton Viking Festival 2019. There'll be plenty of more news to come, so please do keep in touch by visiting our Facebook page at Upton Viking Fest and Twitter feed at Upton Viking Fest for more information. We'll be sure to keep you posted as things develop. In the meantime, from me, Andy Nicholson, and the rest of the events team, thanks for your time, and we hope to see you all Vikinged up very soon.